but I think it's still less than 10. So there's quite a big difference in their maximum speeds. Starting on intermediate, however, both with a fairly similar playstyle, Boru with the blast puts him a little behind. With another blast. Oh, this is becoming worrying for him.
Boru playing 15 seconds down. Over
Gadget
6
finishes
games,
his
that's
first
only 2
board.
seconds. Only 2 seconds per.
That's a very good point. If no more mistakes, Boru can win those 2 seconds per game. He has the pace for it.
Dense section there with the 6 for Gadget. Gadget up by about 1 1/3 of a game at this point.
Boru with another
Ooh.
mistake. This puts him further behind. What does your math say? Does he have the pace to win those seconds back now by the end?
He is crushing this board right now. But I don't know if it's gonna be enough.
So interesting. What's going through Gadget's head right now? Has he noticed? Is he aware of how far behind Boru is since he's Boru's blasted once again now? Gadget has got this secured if he makes no mistakes. There is a mistake. Sorry for caster cursing, Gadget.
Gadget still has a pretty commanding lead here. Gotta wonder if he's nervous, if his hand is shaking at all.
Well, evidently it is since he had a misclick and is pausing for quite a while on the board now.
A misclick, that's just
Still,
Gadget being Gadget.
sure, in this situation, I'm sure most of us would not do any better.
Gadget about to close out this first match. He blasts at the end of the board. Gadget maybe 6 seconds ahead at this point.
Good news for Boru to catch up. About 10 seconds lead by Gadget at the moment,
Oh,
which
board
Gadget will
blasts.
extend.
Gadget just needs to finish up this corner. Gadget takes the first round. Bit of an upset.
Yeah.
For sure, a bit of an
The
upset. I mean, it's not an expert, but still. Boru
Boru
immediately goes for
snap
the beginner
picks
pick.
beginner against Gadget,
Beginner.
a notably great beginner player.
So that's not what I was predicting, but see how this goes.
Yeah,
Wow,
this is getting
holy.
interesting now. It could be a very close game.
Very
Close
excited
first
to
to
see
3.
this.
1 sec. Yeah. Hmm. Demonic choice.
Sorry, Gadget notably not good at anything. I don't know.
No, I think Gadget's referencing your text in the chat since Gadget won the
Oh,
first round.
yep. You know, I just don't expect Gadget to do well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. We're all expecting Boru to just cruise through to the final, but that is not the case here. They've started with their beginner games right now, and Boru is immediately slightly in the lead. It just seems like Boru has a much faster pace for beginner. He's extending
Yeah.
his lead while
Oh,
Gadget manages to
they're
blast.
tied.
Boru also had a blast, but pretty early on, so it won't have that much impact.
Gadget with the slightest of leads.
Very even so far, very even. Put Boru with a late blast, so not so even anymore.
about 1.5 boards down. Which in beginner is not a lot, and with Gadget blasting, even closer.
Late blast for Gadgets right now. Yeah. Really did not expect to see so many blasts. It really shows that players are playing at the edge of their comfort zone or even beyond it.
I mean, we're seeing 5, 6 second times pretty consistently here.
5-6 second times you'd expect at this level, and they happen in even faster times in practice, but I guess a lot of this is also the nerves of the
They're
competition.
Boru with a slight lead now. This might be the closest match we see in the top 6. Boru blasting again. He's down 2 boards.
Both of them blasting. Wow, this is becoming quite a clown fiesta. Come on, guys, pick it up. You're supposed to be the top players, showcasing your skill.
Gadget on his last board. Boru still needs 3.
And
Gadget
Gadget takes it.
takes the second round.
Goes up 2-0.
So many blasts.
And waits Boru on his counter pick.
So far, the game is not going at all how it was predicted here
Yeah, so
by a
Boru
crack.
Boru,
can choose to run back beginner, or he can choose to go to something else. So he can pick whatever he likes still.
Yeah, it's Boru's picks,
Wait.
and he better make sure he picks wisely because he has to win this one.
yeah, I think we see Boru pick Expert Air. Definitely the safest play, in my opinion.
I don't see a pick yet. He is considering his options.
Gadget says he wants a minute, so yeah.
Wonder why. He has quite a comfortable lead. Yeah, this time Boru decided to switch it up and go for Expert. Let's see, once Gadget has his minute, let's see how Expert treats our players.
It's like 10-1.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna try to slow down and play it consistent now.
We did see with the round with Kira versus Sky High. Just saw Sky High just run away with that one completely because Kira got a few blasts on the extra game. Definitely a lot of potential to upset if you just play and just win
Yeah, I mean,
consistently.
if anything, Gadget now should play very slowly, very carefully, and just could potentially gamble on Boru blasting, since Boru will be making sure to try and win this game to extend the match.
Alright, let's go. See if we can
And
have
we
a
are go
Boru comeback
for
potentially.
potentially the final match of the second semifinal. So far, very even solving and not the easiest of logics on this board.
Very neck and neck.
Interesting, both leaving that section down at the bottom to solve at the end. Personally, this is not where my eyes went when I'm following this board.
Go and clean it up. Boru with a slight lead here. We see lots more flags on Gadget's board. Actually, no, they're both flagging quite a bit.
Oh yeah, this is a lot of flagging for Gadget. Gadget has a very late blast. This is now a very tricky situation for him. Now Boru can be chill and cruise towards the first point.
It's very unlikely we're going to see the Gadget sweep here.
I mean, we weren't really expecting, but Boru decided to pick a beginner for some interesting reason. However, now looks like Boru is cruising towards his first victory in a round of the semifinal. And he takes
Boru
it
cleans it
with the
up.
46-second game.
So now Bo is going to have to beat Gadget on a double counter pick. So
Yeah,
Gadget will
Boru
get
now
to counter
essentially
pick.
has to go 3-0.
Yeah.
Has to win everything that's remaining. But this time Gadget gets to pick, and I have a feeling he won't be picking Expert.
Yeah, so Gadget will get to pick, and then if Bo wins, then Gadget will get to pick once again. If Gadget picks no flag, then that'll be and he wins on. So if Gadget picks no flags, then he'll have to pick something else for the next one. But if he picks something else, he can do that one twice. So we'll see, or maybe he just wins right away.
Gadget go beginner again.
We're going beginner. That seems fair enough. It was pretty close the
Yeah,
last time, up until like game 15 or so when Boru was blasting a funeral. So could potentially reclaim this one and tie it up. We'll see.
interesting. I was already going to look up their NF personal best because I was banging on Gadget picking NF against Boru. But I guess, yeah, he's seen how the beginner round went and decided to have a repeat of that.
Always a chance we see this if they win this one to tie it up.
Boru with a slight lead at the start, but this was what happened last time on beginner as well. Boru was leading in the beginning. Gadget has pulled ahead actually, but he's blasted now, so they'll be going back to even. Gadget has a very late blast, which is very unfortunate, and another one in quick succession. So at the moment, we're looking Boru up by 2 boards. Gadget with yet another late blast. This is what happens. You get into the mindset where you get one blast, and then you must catch up, which leads to subsequent blasts. How would you even come back from this situation other than taking those risks and potentially not getting the reward? Gadget with another blast, and Boru is on his final board. Boru wins the round.
Tied up at 2-2. One more chance to either pull off the offset by Gadget or pull off the reverse Theo from Boru. And Gadgetlab gets to pick, is he going to go for beginner again? Or pick maybe int no flag or something else? Gotta be int. With
Says
or
it's
without
gotta be
flags?
int with flags. Okay, so in the end, it looks like you were actually right, Graga, but the game was in a very roundabout way, but we ended up at a 2-all and the final game.
Confirmation bar. Oh, it looks like we lost Teamworm.
We lost a commentator.
Okay.
Yeah, Koraga, you can step into his place unless Worm is back now.
Let's see. Hopefully.
Oh, Gadget has changed. Gadget has changed his pick to
Oh,
int NF.
okay, so we are getting the no
So
flags.
yes, we are seeing actual NF.
No.
Now let's see.
This is definitely a potential to get some blasting happening. There's also another thing that can happen with no flags is that if you have a
Yeah.
minecart situation, it's a lot harder to obviously count everything. You're pretty much going to have to guess if you don't want to spend, like, 2 minutes manning. Ooh, blast right at the end from
Boru
Boru
just
there.
blasted
It's a
on the
big
final tile.
disadvantage. Says, what happens when you play no flag is can definitely
Yeah,
get a
well,
lot of blasts.
ideally you would
You're
not
not
do
used to.
it on the very last last board. I'm sure Gadget saw that because the entire board lit up red. He is now
Yeah.
very aware that he's in the lead.
Yeah, definitely when
Or
you're
with
playing
another
on the
blast.
side, you can tell like when your opponent is getting a blast because they're very visible. And then when you see it, it's like, oh, okay, like I know, like I can, play down. Oh, blast from Gadget. Chance
Gadget
to
here
catch
also has
up.
a late blast.
Oh, then Boru blasts
Perhaps.
again. So
No, so Gadget remains in the lead.
yeah, we're pretty much a whole board and a half ahead nearly from Gadget. So
So
Boru's.
the lead is being extended since there's another Boros blast. The ideal strategy for Gadget is now to go at snail's pace, and he'll make sure to work out the logic, secure this win.
Yeah, so it's 3-1 now. So it's gonna be hard to come back.
We're playing, by the way, for the ticket to the final of the winners bracket.
Yeah, so like, there's definitely we could see a big losers one from Jeff coming up because he's been playing like this every game, and he's not blasting as much as these guys are. So I expect him to win
Gadget has
basically every time he picks no flags.
Unfortunately for him, there's only one NF round allowed.
Yeah, there's a reason I made it that way because I didn't want to be like, oh, you win one, and then because you play no flag, you win every time. So, like, you get one game out of 5, and if you're really good at no flag, that's like 1 guaranteed, and you're basically playing like you're playing first to 2, and your opponent has to win 3.
Gadget has a late blast.
Big
Boru has a
advantage.
not so late blast. Gadget's still in the lead, but he needs to solve an additional, essentially whole board.
Yeah.
To get the win on this round. It's taking noticeably longer with an F now. They've both had quite severe blasts, but Boros were worse, blasting on literal last tiles of the board.
Okay,
Worth
game
noting that
5
this
for
was
Gadget.
not an elimination round, though.
Yeah, so the loser of this goes. Who are they playing? Yeah, the loser of this has to face Jeff, so I don't think either of these players really want to play that matchup for no flags, but
No, yeah. Possibly Gadget takes the win
Gadget
on the
wins
semifinal.
with the help of his no flagging. And then Boru's going to have to. So you are dog shit at NF. Chat lied to me.
Wow, some trash talking coming in from Gadget.